Moviesucktastic is a podcast about bad movies and the people that love them. But it's more than just a podcast, it's also an online presence. If you want to know more about Moviesucktastic or want to become a part of Moviesucktastic, you can find us on Facebook, you can find us on Twitter at Moviesucktastic, you can find our blog at boothreviews.blogspot.com, or if you want to give your own reviews that we might use on the show, you can go to reviews.moviesucktastic.com and check out our own little lunch.com community for Moviesucktastic. Check us out and become a part of the show, because the only thing more fun than a bad movie.
You're listening to Moviesucktastic.
Dude, no! Oh!
Hello. Hello, Scott. How are you?
Hi, Joey. I'm
Hey
good.
there.
How are you?
So,
Need a pulling thread.
Yeah, what could I do for you?
Well, I'm here to review a movie.
You are? Oh, okay.
Yes. We're both here, and this is Moviesucktastic, the place where bad films go to die. Kind of the elephant graveyard of schlocky cinema. And but we're doing Oscar films this month in the lead up to the Oscars. And so some of the films we're reviewing actually aren't that bad.
Yeah, although the last one we reviewed was pretty fucking terrible.
Oh, that...
the Boyhood.
Yeah, check out episode 161 for that.
Yeah. Now, I want to try something real quick. Audio might get a little weird. I'm not doing anything special, but I want to see if this works. This is going to require me to just unplug my headphones for a second. And I just want to see... Here, I just want to see if this works. Here, let's do this.
Hi, Scott. Would you like to play a game?
Well, yes, I would, Stephen.
So, I think I'm going to do my review that way the entire show.
Okay.
Okay? It'll require me to unplug my headphones, but it'll be so worth it.
Well, why don't you go ahead and explain what we're reviewing today and give us a brief synopsis of the film.
Okay. Well, we're reviewing the film The Theory of Everything.
I thought you were going to do that through the...
Well, it's going to take me like 30 seconds to type that shit.
Well,
so
go ahead.
Okay. You got to fill the void while I do that.
Yeah, so like I said, we're reviewing Oscar shows. We're doing 2 shows a week. And so you want to tune in throughout the month of February up until the show. We're going to try to get every film for Best Picture in, and then like any other strays we can to try to fill out the blanks. Also go to our Facebook page, Moviesucktastic on Facebook, to fill out our polls, and we might even be giving away prizes if we do a Predict the Oscars poll. We haven't talked too fully about that yet, but stay tuned on our Facebook page for that.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
We are reviewing The Theory of Everything, where we get to see the Hawkman lay down some serious pipe.
You do not get to see the Hawkman lay down pipe in The Theory of Everything. That was actually specifically requested of, what's her name, Jane?
Yeah.
The author of the book this film was adapted from. One of her specific requests when they made the film is that they did not actually film any lovemaking scenes between her and Stephen Hawking. I don't know why they would have thought of doing it. I'm hoping that they weren't even planning on doing that, and they were like, okay, that's your only requirement. I'm glad you said that,
yeah.
because I don't know how you would do that and not make it awkward.
Sure, exactly.
I mean, I think if they tried to do that, it would be a step too far to, okay, you know what? You don't need to show us this. They have 3 kids. We get it. They're having sex. There's no need to try to lay that down. And the film's not about that in the first place. It's about love. So
here you go. Here.
That Jane was one hot bitch. He really gave her the Big Bang Theory, if you know what I mean.
That he did, and then he dumped her for his sexy nurse.
That's right. Yeah.
Which I did not know in the real world that occurred. I wasn't really hip on the Steven.
I didn't even know he had kids. I read up about him a little bit on the wiki page, and I had no idea he had fucking children at all. They allude in the film that the 3rd kid might not be his, but they kind of squash that.
They allude that was the rumor going around, that's what the family was. People were concerned about, that like it was this this friend of the family that was spending in their eyes way too much time around them, and who knows how much of that is true and not. And I mean, they do. I mean, and again. Jane Hawking, or Jane, whatever her name is. Jane Hawking. I didn't know she kept the last name. That's all I really meant. I'm sure no one really tells the 100% truth, so I'm sure maybe there's some stuff that she kind of like, for the sake of decency or what have you, may have she's not going to do a tell-all book. It wasn't about a tell-all kind of thing. So maybe more was going on than. I'm not implying that the kid wasn't Stevens, but. They kind of imply that nothing was going on between him and her, except that they did have a mutual feeling for each other until after the breakup. I don't know how convinced I am that that's the truth. I don't think it would be a necessarily horrible thing to accuse of happening if it did. But now, and again, we broached this when we talked about American Sniper. This is based on a novel that's supposedly a memoir or a biography or nonfiction. The film is not nonfiction. It's based on a story, but it's still a movie. It is still fictional in nature. Things are going to be embellished or changed to facilitate the story, and not just the story, but the truth behind the reality.
Oh, exactly.
So which we talked a bit about in Boyhood.
I just created a new Milky Way in my pants.
Which you have too much fun with that.
Oh yeah, just random shit throughout the show tonight.
Now, I did not want to see the film. Initially, I had no.
I didn't either. It looked too much like. I don't know. It felt a little more too much like it was just a romantic type film, and I don't usually go for those. And it kind of felt like in the trailer it was going to be that kind of a film with a little bit of science and a little bit about his groundbreaking theories and whatnot. And you know what it turned out to be? It turned out to be a little bit of everything. Mm-hmm. You got a little bit of his groundbreaking theories, his marriage life, how it kind of was like she kind of, as the film went on, you could tell that she loved him less and less. That she was looking for something else. The way I took it was, I was in this for 2 fucking years. It's like 20 years in now. Well, what the fuck? That's how I took it.
Well, there is that kind of element too. And
the dude is still alive, and he's had this horrible disease since like 1967, I think.
Yeah, he's in his 70s now.
He's 72 years old.
Yeah, there's that kind of element to it where like where she tells him, I'm going to stay with you to the end, and the father takes her side and says, you know what, I don't think you know what you're in for. You're not going to win this battle, and it's going to be horrible, and you're going to lose. And when it's like you resign yourself to that. Okay, I'm going to go through a horrible experience here, and I'm going to watch him die, and then it doesn't happen. There's got to be a level of disappointment. It's a horrible thing to say, but there's got to be that level of I don't know. I'm not gonna take that route. But there's got to be a point where you set yourself up for what's the inevitability. When that inevitability doesn't occur, you're stuck in that limbo of, okay, now I'm just doing this for the rest of my life. And she did give up a lot of her own life to do this.
She took care of him full time.
Yeah. And until, Jonathan came along and helped him out.
Right. That's right. Which was kind of awkward in itself. He told her that if there was another man in her life, he wouldn't be opposed. He essentially gave her a blessing to see other people as long as she didn't leave him.
Right.
And she didn't do that.
Well, it's like,
I mean, this person, Jonathan, came into their lives, and he was very important to all of them, specifically Stephen. He was very close with him, but again, the family thought that they might have had an affair, but that's not actually what happened. It wasn't until after they got divorced, where he falls for his naughty nurse, she joins Jonathan, and they get married and whatnot. And as far as I know, they're still married and they're still happy. So it's just it's interesting that she stuck with him through and through, even when he goes into a coma and they have to do the tracheotomy where he won't ever be able to talk again. Mm-hmm. And they asked her flat out, "Do you want us to disconnect him off of life support?" He would have surely died if they did that. And she said no. She could have escaped. She could have been like, yeah, sure. But I think she realized that he was more important than
and she
than
loved
maybe.
him. And she did love him too.
Yes.
And I think like the part where he kind of like gives her permission to fuck around is not. It's really kind of like it's a sacrifice on his part where he's like, you know what, I love you, but he realizes that he's, by them being in love, and her being in love with him, he's condemned her to this life. And that's kind of his way of saying, I can't tell you to go, but at the same time, I can't condemn you to like not having a normal life in some regard. And I mean, a lot of this film is about that kind of mutual sacrifice, and just the boundaries of love too. Again, like I said, it comes to the point where it's like, now I don't know how to react to the fact that he eventually is the one that breaks it up, because
that's kind of weird,
because he has the hots for this nurse who oddly has the hots for him.
Yeah.
And I really come off shallow saying this too, but I don't understand her dealing with his twisted form and then like them becoming an item. And I don't understand the opening scene where Jane sees this goofy looking awkward geek across the room and is like, I need to know more about this guy. I don't get it. Now it's real life and it occurred.
Oh, and that guy, by the way, he's playing Daredevil in a new Netflix series that's starting in like a week.
I saw that. I'm excited about that. It's
all episodes on February 10th. You'll be able to, I think there's 12 of them. So, because it's Netflix.
Yeah.
And the only reason I knew about it was because Chris posted about it.
I caught a trailer accidentally on.
I went out of my way to watch a trailer after I saw that he posted it, and I have to be honest too, I'm gonna watch it.
I'm interested. Don't get me started on TV shows, because I just watched the season pilot of Constantine finally. So
how was that? Okay.
It could have been a lot worse, and I'm one of the few people that didn't hate the Constantine movie, so.
Okay.
So I'm kind of biased. Where I don't know. It's weird.
Oh, you know what? I found some audio between Stephen Hawking and his nurse, so we should play that.
Ride the pony. Ride the pony. You know you like it? Let me put it in your black hole.
It's not going to get old. Nope.
It really is. Yeah, but so I don't mean to be mean that way, but it's just one of those things where, and it's what we're sold in Hollywood too. Every time you see the guy and the girls across the room and they're both attractive, and this is the real life. And again, this movie is so much more realistic than like Boyhood.
Yeah, wow.
And but at the same time, it's less realistic because the things that happen in this film, and this is one of the reasons why I shit on Boyhood. But this film was good. I mean, this is what you watch a movie for. It is real life. This shit really happened in the world. But at the same time, it's so remarkable and so out of place. I mean, genius at what, 17 or 18, 19? I don't know, forget how old he was. Told he has 2 years to live because he has Lou Gehrig's disease.
Is he the longest survivor ever on this disease?
I don't know, but my money would be on being close to that. And nails the hot chick, gets her to marry him before he dies or becomes debilitated. Right. Survives, doesn't die, becomes an award-winning, like, world-renowned physicist or a cosmologist, whatever, and eventually dumps the hot wife for a hot MILF nurse. I mean, it's ludicrous, but it really happened. So why the fuck would I be so excited about Boyhood? Because I get to watch a kid be angsty through 12 years of his life.
Yeah. Oh, Stephen Hawking wants to chime in. He's got something to say.
Oh, what now, Stephen?
Trust the Hawkman. Boyhood sucks a dick. I wouldn't have sex with the daughter either.
Oh, man.
So for a film I didn't want to see, I'll admit I got a little misty. You want to guess which part I got a little misty at?
It might be the same part I got misty at.
Showing our age.
Yeah. What scene was it? It was. Shit. I distinctly remember getting. Early, and I don't want you to say it, and then I'll agree with it, and people are going to think I did.
Early in the film or late in the film?
No, it was late in the film.
Oh, mine is early in the film, so we're not going to...
Oh, was yours early? All right, yeah. Mine was late in the film. It was probably... It wasn't the end scene where, the two of them are together, and it says, oh, look what we created, and it was, the three kids. It was a little earlier than that. It was one of those scenes where... I don't know. It was emotional. Whatever. Where's yours?
Where the nurse shows him the penthouse book.
Oh, God, really?
No. After he finds out he has the disease and he's going to die, and he kind of isolates himself from everybody, and Jane confronts him in his room, and he's like, I want you to go away if you care for me. And then when she comes out and says, I love you, and there's that pause, I was like, oh, she said it. And then I got over it, and that was it. Everything else was like, oh, okay, all right, yeah. Now we're just watching this kid pretend to be, and great acting, obviously. Is he up for an Oscar? He is, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he's all twisted and shit. Are you kidding? The fucking Hollywood loves to give Oscars out to people who are all twisted up and shit. Think Daniel Day-Lewis and My Left Foot. I mean, this is like to the fucking 10th degree.
Yeah, and I called it too. There's those scenes where now him like trying to call, like slithering down the stairs or trying to climb up them, and it's still awkward. I still stick by that, and there's a part of me where if it wasn't for the love story, I wouldn't see the point in watching all this, because I get it. I don't think I need to see this to get the idea that he's suffering through a fucking living hell,
well, yeah.
but remaining positive through most of it. But again, the film's not just about that. It's about the truth behind the reality. And I'm going to keep saying that because it's very profound. And it's about faith and belief, but just in it's not about. They do a lot about that, science versus religion, but it's beyond that. It's just about like a faith in life and a belief in life, and I think that's the focus of the film, even
right.
beyond the love story, because love is just an aspect of life, and I think that's because their love doesn't endure in some aspects. She runs off, not runs off, but she goes off and marries another man, and he goes off with the nurse,
mm-hmm.
and but they still have, they still care about each other, still love each other, but not enough to be together. but it's beyond that. It's just not. It's just an aspect of life, and it's that's the focus, and that's that's the theory of everything. The title is supposed to be about his theory, but at the same time, it's supposed to be about what are you living for, what are you striving for, what drives you.
Right.
So there is a profoundness to the movie. His life is a demonstration of it.
Oh, Steven has something to say.
What? God damn it!
He's actually got something to say about Boyhood. You might like this one.
Oh,
What the fuck is with that movie Boyhood? It's so fucking boring, and I know boring. I'm a cosmologist.
why didn't we review this film first? We could have had Steven in for every film we reviewed.
We can have Steven, through the rest of our film reviews.
I think we'll have to until the real Stephen Hawking sues us.
Well, yeah.
Which is possible.
Because apparently the voice that they have for him, they don't make that voice anymore, and I think he bought it or patented it, and no one else can use it.
Mm-hmm.
He could be like Lucas with that shit. If someone else uses that voice and they make money on it, he can fucking sue you.
Yeah, he actually gave them permission to use it in the film.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. No, it sounds exactly like. Well, you know what? I would think they have to. Now it's directed by James Marsh, who is actually he sounds familiar. I am sure he's done something that I've seen that I might even have liked. Let's look at his resume. Oh, he did Man on a Wire. That sucked. How the fuck did he get this movie then?
Well, apparently he's been fighting to make the film for like the past 10 years. It's maybe like a long-term project of his.
Jesus Christ! Now they're gonna fuck it. They're gonna throw anything at him now.
Oh yeah.
Shadow Dancer. Sweet Jesus.
Oh wait, no, hold on. I'm sorry.
You're thinking of the
writer,
the Stephen Dorff Shadow Boxer.
No. Just to back up what I just said about the film, like struggling 10 years to get it made. That was the screenwriter. That was Anthony McCartan. He's the person who adapted the movie.
Oh, Man on a Wire is a documentary. I'm thinking of Man on a Ledge.
I was thinking of Bird on a Wire.
Bird? Oh God.
I was way off. I'm thinking Mel Gibson and Goldie Hawn, and the tightrope walking guy. No, I was thinking of the screenwriter. He's been struggling to have this screenplay made for years.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I was talking about. Yeah, this guy. Maybe. I guess maybe Shadow Dancer was a big hit. I don't know.
I don't know. I never saw it.
I don't know. I'm not that familiar with him. I'm not familiar with him as I am with other directors that we've been dealing with.
Okay.
Like the Birdman director, and whose name I can't pronounce, so I'm going to try.
Yeah.
The Hawkman really liked Bird on a Wire. Don't shit on the Gibson.
Oh, so good.
I mean, this is what I would call your typical Oscar film. It's a biopic.
Oh yeah.
It's a biopic with a struggle against a debilitating disease. It's got a love story. It's inspiring. It's not just watching stupid people live their lives for 2.5, 3 hours. It's one of those films where when it's nominated, you just go, oh yeah, of course. It's like The Imitation Game. Homosexual oppression, World War struggle during the World War, inventors, race against time. Oh yeah, how did this British actors? How did it not get nominated?
Exactly. Yeah.
So
best costume.
Yeah, this is a period piece too. Anything that's a period piece always knocks it up towards Best Picture.
Sure.
So totally not surprised. It's actually, in some ways, it's a boring nomination because it's just so obvious.
It's cliche.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but deservedly so. Unlike Boyhood, which doesn't deserve a nomination and is a fucking insult for being nominated for Best Picture, this film actually has the merits of great screenplay, great adapted screenplay. And the other screenplays it's up against for adaptation are Whiplash, Inherent Vice, based on the Thomas Pynchon novel, which I want to read before I see the film, so I got to squeeze that in. The Imitation Game, Gay Codebreaker, and American Sniper. Now, and again, out of all of those, 4 of them. Now, I don't know if Whiplash is a true story, right?
Yes. As a matter of fact, from what I understand, the writer and director of Whiplash, it's loosely based on his personal experiences.
Okay, so 4 out of 5 of these are either biographical or biopics.
Right.
The only one not being so under adapted is Inherent Vice. So only one of the top 5, only one of the 5 nominations are fiction. I mean, that's to be expected. I mean, really, out of the Best Picture, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 5 of the nominees are nonfiction. I mean, technically, even though it's still film, so it's still fiction, unless it's a documentary. But they're all based on real stories. Are those 5? So it's interesting. And so, but again, it's just status quo. I mean, when it comes to rating the theory of everything, you have anything you want to say about the performances? I mean, just great performances, really.
Yeah.
What else is there to say?
I think Stephen Hawking has something to say.
What, Stephen?
Listen to the Hawkman. Respect the cock.
I like it when he refers to himself as the Hawkman.
Out of all the Tom Cruise lines, you could have had him quote as the best. I can't think of a better. By the way, probably one of the only 2 good scenes in Magnolia. And I think Steven has something to say about my distaste for Magnolia coming up. What could he possibly have against Magnolia? What's wrong, Steve? What's wrong, Steven? Cat got your tongue? Oh no, wait, it's Lou Gehrig's disease.
Yeah.
I'll fuck anything that moves. I can T-move.
I wish he had a little bit more, verve in his voice.
You don't need it. He's cold and calculating.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those Oscar. It's just a run-of-the-mill great Oscar film that's not really groundbreaking, but it's just very, very powerful, very dead on as far as like its portrayal of actual people and events.
Right.
And really has a strong message and a strong undertone. And it really just, it grabs you. And even if you're not, I didn't want to see the film, but when I watched it, I got into it and I paid attention and I walked away liking it. So
no, I liked it.
So I mean,
I'd give it a solid 7 on IMDb.
7, just 7.
You think it's better than a 7?
I don't know.
Like an 8?
I would go 8. I would. All right, let me.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to an 8. I really wouldn't.
I'd only say 8 because I can't really say anything bad about the film. I mean, though the only reason I wouldn't give it more than 8 is because for me a 10 has to be something that has really says something different or I don't know. It just it's your typical overcoming adversity, love, life kind of thing. So you're right. It's a bit cliche, but it's a well done cliche. So 7 or 8. I'm kind of.
Well, I think we'll have to give final word to Steven. So.
Well,
Listen to the Hawkman. You gotta go 8 on this mofo.
All right, Steve. I can't argue against that. 8 it is. Now, how many votes did Boyhood have? Did I say like 350,000?
136.
136. I thought it was 300. Theory of Everything only has 54,000 votes on IMDb. It's currently at 7.8. The highest rating is 8. Typical popular film. Demographics aren't too skewed. The highest demographic is 8.7 with females under 18. So you got the love story thing going there. The lowest demographic is 7.5 for males aged 30 to 44 because of the love story thing going there.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't think it'll win Best Picture. I think it's probably a contender for Best Supporting. For Best Adapted Screenplay. What else is it nominated for? Well, Best Actor, definitely a run for the money.
Oh yeah, he's all twisted and shit. So.
Honestly, I think it's a tie between him and Michael Keaton for Birdman.
Yeah, I hate to go with the all twisted and shit, but he does deliver a really amazing performance. But he is all twisted and shit, yeah. So now, they love that.
I mean, like Bradley Cooper really did a great job of portraying what's his name from American Sniper,
Chris Kyle.
But pretending to be a macho redneck or pretending to be a crippled genius, which is harder to do? I really have to lean towards the Eddie Redmayne for that.
Oh yeah,
and he's British. Yeah. And he's British, so that immediately steps it up.
Yep. Nominated Oscars are Best Picture, Best Actor in a Leading Role for Eddie Redmayne.
I think it's a definite.
Best Performance by an Actress, Felicity Jones.
No.
Obviously, she played Jane.
I don't think so.
No. She's good, but...
No. Yeah, not
yeah. Best Writing Adapted. And
which,
this is where I think this is a shoe-in to win too, is Best Original Score. The music in this is actually really good. They used the music really well to move a scene, to set up a scene.
Yeah.
The music is done. You could tell the music is a bit above everything else that's nominated.
I can't find it.
Except for maybe Birdman. I haven't seen it yet, but you had mentioned that it's all drums.
Birdman was not was disqualified for Best Score because it is only drums.
Really?
Yeah, I'm trying to find the Best Score list here. Yeah, that's why there's I read that that they disqualified it because it's only a drum player, somebody playing the drums. So technically, it's not a score. It's just some guy playing drums.
Oh, I don't understand why that's still not a nominatable film.
You know what? That's I also. And I also forgot to mention that no black people were nominated. Mainly because there weren't any black people in this film. It was a very white movie.
Very white.
Very white. Same goes for Boyhood 2. There was no nomination in that for any black people.
That is correct.
But yeah, Best Score, it's up against Grand Budapest, Imitation Game, Interstellar, Mr. Turner. So, I mean...
Mr. Turner.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what Mr. Turner is. I'm drawing a blank here. I'm gonna have to cheat. I didn't. I have not seen Mr. Turner. It's about a British painter. It's a biopic.
Oh, okay.
Timothy Spall, who I like. I like Timothy Spall. I haven't seen it, but I got a feeling this is one of those things where all the nominees for Best Score probably have really good scores, so it's gonna be a hard pick.
Okay.
Is that all? The only thing that's all it's nominated for?
Yeah, that's it. Those are the 5.
Yeah, I guess they couldn't go with costume design. They didn't go back, past the 70s.
Yeah.
Or 60s, 70s. But yeah, not bad.
No, it was good. I dug it.
Not gonna win Best Picture, but might walk away with Best Actor, perhaps Best Adapted Screenplay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a given.
Now, next week we are reviewing.
Are we doing Whiplash and
Birdman? Now, my original idea, because we paired the films to try to get little themes with Boyhood and The Theory of Everything. Both were about watching someone growing from adolescence to adulthood. That was pretty much it, because there's nothing else in common with the films, because Theory of Everything was actually good.
Yeah.
Now, with Birdman and Whiplash, originally I was thinking, well, they both have to do with people struggling to find self-identity through celebrity or perfection as a performer, as a performance, an artist, whether it be acting or musician. After I came up with that idea and we went with it, then I saw Birdman, and I hadn't realized until then that the entire soundtrack was just somebody playing the drums. So that ties in perfectly to Whiplash. So it's a great pairing of those two films to review in the same week.
Okay. So should we go ahead and end the show?
100% yes.
Okay, but I think Steven has something to say.
Of course he
before
does.
we do. So let's see what he has to say.
What you got.
Yeah, bitch. Magnets.
You keep talking over Steven.
Go ahead, Steve.
All right, you got to give Steven a second now because you talked all over him.
Just leading up.
Okay, let him get his point across now. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Steven, go ahead. Scott's not going to talk over you now.
Yeah, bitch. Magnets.
Oh, he's just so smart.
How come Steven hasn't plugged the show?
Oh, I should have him do that.
You really should have him plug the show. If you had planned,
man.
if you had planned in advance, Steven could have done the whole wrap up at the end of how to.
That's right.
The show, but
I'll do that next week.
okay. Just Steven, can you say Moviesucktastic for me? Can you at least just say the name of the show, just so I can hear it?
Sure.
Rolling off your lips. Not you, Steven.
All right. I gotta type it for him, but yeah, okay.
Come on, Steven.
Moviesucktastic.
Thank you, Steven.
It was pretty clear.
Very much so.
I like it. All right. You can go to our website at moviesucktastic.com. You can listen to all the shows there. You can watch the show live, although next week I think we're going to Ustream, so look out for that. You can leave us voicemail, 908-514-4470. You can also email us. The address is themovieguys@moviesucktastic.com. You can go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/moviesucktastic. You can go to our Tumblr page at moviesucktastic.tumblr.com. You can also do a search for us in your favorite web browser. Scott likes Google.
Google it.
Just do a search for us. Do a search for Moviesucktastic. You can also download our 100% free, amazing, awesome Android app for any Android OS system, whether it's your phone, your tablet, whatever you're using. Totally free. Everything I just said is in that nice little tidy package. I highly recommend getting it.
Oh, yes.
Also, you go to iTunes. You can get the show there. Leave a review. Don't forget. That's about it. Any words of wisdom?
I think Steven should give the words of wisdom this episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think if anybody's going to give words of wisdom, it should be Steven.
Okay. Let me type it up.
What do you got to say, Steven? Give me some words of wisdom. Any moment now, Steven.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to be clever.
Steven doesn't have to try. He's just always clever. Come on, Steven. Words of wisdom.
Oh, God. This is just so long.
It's like I'm watching Boyhood all over again.
Yeah. Alright, here you go.
Fuck yeah, theory of everything, bitches. Gimme that Oscar, I'm all twisted up and shit.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to tune into the next episode where we'll be reviewing either Birdman or Whiplash.
Which, yeah, that should be the two.
Yeah.
Alright, everybody. We'll talk to you next week.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Respect the cock.
Hey, the Hawkman knows what the Hawkman knows.
She definitely does.